By now, you've probably heard my magic wand story. It's a brand that's been part of my personal journey for more than 20 years. But no matter how many times I sing Magic Wand's praises, I'll never be able to fully capture the story of this incredible brand. Well, now journalist and author Kate Sloan just completed a limited audio series documenting the history and impact that Magic Wand has created over the last 56 years. It's called Making Magic. And the series chronicles Magic Wand's incredible brand story through interviews with nearly 40 experts, performers, business owners, educators, and fans. So I got a sneak preview of this series, and what I loved is that Kate weaves together snippets from all their interviews into this amazing story arc. She covers Magic Wand's journey from appliance store massager to its legendary influence on culture and sexual independence, and it's all just fascinating. The first episodes of Making Magic are available now at makingmagicseries.com or on all popular podcast platforms. Just search for Making Magic or visit makingmagicseries.com today. Thanks for listening to Sex with Emily. On today's show, Menace is here, and we're helping you navigate your sex, relationship, and everything in between questions. Topics include how to get the dirty talking party started, best way to vet casual sex partners, how to encourage your partner to be their healthiest self, and getting the most pleasure possible in a new relationship. All this and more. Thanks for listening.
Look into his eyes. They're the eyes of a man obsessed by sex. Eyes that mock our sacred institutions. Bedroom eyes, they call them in a bygone day.
Hey, Emily, you got a boyfriend? Because my man E here, he just got his heart broken. He thinks you're kind of cute.
A girl's got to have her standards. Oh, my.
Do women know about shrinkage?
Isn't it common knowledge?
What do you mean, like laundry? It shrinks?
Can we not talk about sex so much?
Are you kidding me?
Oh my God, it feels so good.
Being bad feels pretty good. But you know, Emily's not the kind of girl you just play with.
You're listening to Sex with Emily. We're talking about sex, relationships, and everything in between. For more information, check out our incredible blogs on our website. They're going to rock your world. People are loving them because they're personal stories, they're tips, they're tricks, they're just everything you want to know about sex, dating, and relationships. Hi, Menace. I'm here with Menace.
Oh, I posted that I was going to be on the show on Instagram. Let me give a big shout out to Normandy. Hopefully I'm saying that. And then Wolverine 03X on Instagram.
Oh, you posted a picture about you? Never.
Yeah, I posted on my
every day
on my Instagram because I don't want to repost. I don't want to take photos of myself, and that's what you force me to do every time I'm here.
I know because we're cute and together.
But if you put two together, I don't want to take photos while I'm here. Why the hell am I going to repost them?
I don't know.
See?
How about just you never post pictures? Okay, but
now I posted one.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that.
Menace on Instagram if you want to see it.
Menace on Instagram.
Riveting.
No, people love your Instagrams. Thank you. I love you.
Here. And I love being with you. I love being here. It's been a while. I know we had another podcast, but we're recording another one today.
I know. It's true. And
it's great being together.
I know. I really miss you. You're like my old buddy. I'm glad that things are going so well for you with life and work and stuff like that. And I want you to maybe there's not really more time, but if there was more time, we could you could come see my new house.
Sweet. That'd be good.
And I was going to say, follow me on Instagram, follow me on Snapchat. And I love our feeds, but then you might not know. Why should I follow Sex with Emily? Well, because you can see us right now doing our stories on Instagram and Snapchat. And we've got some cool things going on here. We do giveaways and fun quotes to inspire your day.
Yeah.
What should people look at, Menace?
All right, let's see it. Because this thing, I'll say this real quick. Okay, so I'm not a social media expert at all, but this is the thing that I'll tell you the things that bother me. When you see a TV show or, there's an event going on and you see a poster or something like that, or somebody shouts out their social media, they will say, follow us at blah, 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 blah. Why? Why should I follow it? Why should I look at it? They never give you the answer.
Exactly.
So I'm going to go on. I'm going to go with Emily's Instagram right here, and I'm going to look through it. I'm going to find out why you should go to Sex with Emily.
Why you should follow me
on Instagram.
This is good. It always works.
Oh, you're showing a lot more skin lately on these videos. What's this video?
Oh,
that was with your tank top going on.
Latote. I know my boobs look kind of big. I should bring that on my trip.
Yeah.
That is Latote. Oh, it's my new service where I get clothes and they send me clothes and I get to pick them out. And that's cute.
Top
it's a video.
Looks good.
Thank you.
Looks good on you.
Thank you.
I like it. What else you got here? Okay, so here's you having some drinks with a friend. You have a polka dotted dress on. That's pretty good. And then you have some dude that's like all over you right here. Who's that guy? He looks like a
Oh,
backup
dude.
dancer for J-Lo.
No, that show with Nico.
Yeah.
Nico from Younger. Nico Tortorella. Dude, he's so hot. That picture, that thing. He told me you should see what he says in that video.
Okay. Do you know what I'm going to do? Because sometimes, a lot of people are going through Instagram and they can't turn on the audio because they're at work.
Oh, right.
Maybe put some subtitles on it. I'll show you a program that'll do that.
Really?
Yeah.
You could put subtitles on?
Yeah.
On the Instagram videos?
Yeah. It's crazy.
See, you are a social media expert.
No, I'm not.
We'll do that. Can we share it with the people?
Because everybody's a social media expert. They always think they know the best. I don't want to say that, but just some suggestions here and there.
Okay, that is great.
But
thank you.
Follow Sex with Emily on Instagram. It has some good stuff on there. And if anybody's listening, I know there's thousands upon thousands of people listening to this podcast. If you know anybody, listen up. If you know anybody at Facebook or Instagram, Emily desperately needs to be verified on Instagram.
Right.
Sex with Emily.
Yeah.
So
How hard is that?
here, even if you think like maybe I don't know anybody at Instagram, go to your LinkedIn, type in Instagram, and see you might be connected to somebody. Hit
so
them
smart.
up. Help Emily out because Emily gives you this show for free. All right.
True.
This the least you can do is look into it. Maybe you know somebody there, but her Instagram account needs to be verified. If you can help her out, that'd be great.
Oh, that's nice,
All right.
Menace. What else do we want people to do? I feel like you're in a really good salesy mode.
Oh,
I just
really?
want you guys to keep listening and tell
No,
your
I'm not
friends.
trying to be salesy, but
No,
I'm just
kidding.
saying. Like,
No, you're like really because you believe it, and I believe
yeah,
it.
Yeah, I'm just like
I love it. I'm just feel
trying
like
to get all the
sometimes I'm
areas
alone.
covered.
That's good.
That's all.
I love you all. Well, yeah. Thank you for supporting the show, and
I appreciate
and
it.
whatever you do. I do appreciate it. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Menace. And in honor of you,
Yes.
I'd like to ask you 5 questions.
All right.
So when the show first started, as you can remember, probably 12 years ago, you were there when I was doing my live show and radio show, and I used to ask every guest the 5 Sex with Emily questions.
All right.
They were quickie questions.
Yes.
And we've brought them back when we've guests on the
Ooh,
show.
Good.
And I realize I've never asked you these questions.
At least that I can remember now.
I don't think so.
No.
No, because you were
Maybe.
never really a guest.
Yeah, I was just kind of just around.
You're just fucking hanging around.
Yeah.
So ready? I'm going to ask
Yes.
you. You got to rapid fire though. You got to ask them.
Yeah. I got it.
Biggest turn on.
Biggest turn on: a woman with a job, motivated,
Biggest turn off.
needy,
Sexiest part of a woman's body.
hips.
What's the one thing you wish you could tell your current partner about your body's needs? Or current or all future partners, it says here. Like, just any, what do you wish that she knew?
About my body
And its needs.
and its needs. My needs are for you to be aggressive.
You want her to initiate sex more.
Yeah, I mean that's been my whole thing. I've always said that, even not even in the sex part, just even like
In life.
In life, if there's somebody that you like let it be known. You know,
Let me know what you
don't forget
want.
this thing of a man and a woman and how it's supposed to be, where a man is supposed to pursue a woman. If a woman is into a guy, let it be known. Like, don't play these games and waste time. And
I agree.
That's
Men
all.
can't figure it out. They're not always mind readers. They don't know
Yeah.
what you're thinking. They can even
Guys-
talk them out of the fact that, like, I think she
Yeah.
liked me, but I'm not sure. Then
I've said this for years. Guys are dumb. Women are way smarter.
That's true.
Okay,
In many
guys
ways.
cannot pick up on signs.
I think we just got to stop playing games and be honest.
Yes.
Okay, wait, one more question for you.
Stop wasting time.
What's
Life's
our
too short.
time?
Yeah.
Craziest place you've gotten busy?
Craziest place I got busy, probably in I don't know. I think it was a club. I was wasted. Probably
in a club.
club, or it was a bar / club, San Francisco. Bathroom, very classy.
Which one?
Oh, I don't even remember.
Oh, so
I
many of
remember
them.
it was on by Van Ness Street.
Oh, I miss San Francisco. I just
Yeah.
got like a little sad, a little
Yeah.
nostalgic.
There's
Venice.
some bar off that street.
Okay, good to know.
I
Thank
can
you. That was
remember.
really helpful.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
that's it. I can do
Do you
more
want more?
questions all
Okay,
day.
okay, ready? Here's some
Okay.
more. Ready?
Yeah.
What's your foreplay routine?
Foreplay routine.
You asked for it.
Making out and stuff.
Great.
I like the old school, like this making out, I guess.
Making out is important.
Yeah, and then you go from there. I don't know.
You go from there.
I mean, what would you say?
That's a good question. What my foreplay routine?
Yeah.
I would say that some sexy conversation,
Okay.
some passionate debate.
So you consider that foreplay?
I'm a sapiosexual. Actually, I'm
what?
writing a new column for
I
exactly.
didn't know you were a dinosaur. A sapiosexual. What is that?
It's a person who is mostly aroused by intellect.
Oh, okay.
And so
Yeah.
I'm writing a new column for Cosmo magazine.
Yes.
I'm contributing. It's called WTF.
Yeah.
And it's in their magazine. And every month I contribute to a column about like what the WTF is blank. So last month it was outer course. And that's just like you know, all this like you used to in high school,
Yeah.
like dry humping, and but it was actually more detailed than that. And then this month is WTF sapiosexual. And I know it sounds like a weird dinosaur, but it's actually someone who is mostly aroused by intellect, more over like physical
Yeah.
attributes.
I mean, you love writers.
I always love writers.
Yeah.
I love writers.
People that write.
I dated a guy for like 5 minutes a few weeks ago who was a writer, and I'm like, oh God, another one. But
You
it's
love
true.
people that conversate and people that listen to your conversation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Especially somebody who listens.
Yeah.
It's true though. And I've always been that way and I feel like that there's a lot of people like this where you go out to a club or just out to a party or walking down the street and you might, like for me, like, okay, this is how I experience it being a sapiosexual. I don't typically look at a guy and go, oh, he's hot, I'm going to follow him around and check him out. I mean, I can't tell you, like, I can count on one hand how many times in my life I've actually like gone after a guy because I thought he was attractive, just on physical attributes alone. Now, most of the men I have dated is because I actually, maybe they were attractive or not, but something happened. We talked, we had a conversation that like got my brain all turned on. And I'm not telling you that we were doing like, he was doing like advanced calculus. It's more about somebody who just has like a passion for knowledge like I do. And then there's something I can learn from them. We can learn from each other. And they're just like passionate about something. And that's what turns me on is the brain, the mind. I mean, not that I don't love like good oral sex. I'm just saying that in a partner, and I also think the thing about being a sapiosexual is that there's actually a lot of like relationships where you're kind of attracted to the mind over, like, let's say just someone who's like hot and young and pretty or whatever it is, whatever you're attracted to. That all stuff goes away. It changes, it fades, or someone who's older, it doesn't even matter. But if it's just based on what they have, you know, like their possessions and their looks, it's like it's not going to get you very far in life. But if you are constantly inspiring each other and in an intellectual way and
Well, I didn't know that conversation would be in the factor of, pre-gaming. Foreplay.
I was kind of kidding. Like, it's not like we have a deep political, passionate debate.
Yeah,
and
no,
I wanna jump his
but I
bones.
totally agree with you. I mean, if I knew that was an option, I would definitely put it in there.
Oh, like a hot conversation.
Yeah, because I think that just heightens like when you finally get to the point of penetration.
Exactly. And then they just have penetration because they're like, stop talking now, Emily. And then,
Yeah.
no, they're talking too as well. So,
oh, she's still talking?
exactly.
I would be so exhausted.
Dating me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I had this happen
I would
again.
need a nap.
So for years, Menace
Yeah.
and I would joke that my ex in San Francisco, who I dated for many years, and he's actually a very good friend of mine now, the one whose cabin I go to with other friends, that when we were dating like 10 years ago, we broke up, he was like, at one point, he was like, okay, how about like you don't talk after 9 o'clock at night and before 9 a.m.? Like we just don't talk. It's like a no talk zone. I'm like, this will never work. Like I can't not talk.
I know.
And recently I was dating a guy and he was like, we kind of ended it. And he was like, I was like, you know, when I'm with you, I feel like kind of alone. And he was like, well, when I'm with you, I can't finish reading the New York Times. And I was like, that was our last words we ever spoke.
Oh, really? Are you serious?
I mean, it wasn't like a serious relationship. It was like, he's super focused in trying to get his stuff and I'm talking and I want to talk and I feel alone with him. And that was it.
I mean, because you're not really super into television or anything like that. I mean, you're definitely going to find people that you'll be in relationships with that love having conversations, but definitely you'll run across people that are like, okay, I want to watch TV or I want to read a book.
I don't talk during TV shows.
You don't? That's a lie. There's no way that you're not distracting at all during a television show.
It depends if I'm really into the show.
But yeah, I think that's the type. I mean, you at least know the type of person that you need.
Exactly.
You know?
Right. You got to
But
keep gotta know
I mean,
yourself.
for me, that would not work because I would.
What, talking?
Because I'll be so exhausted after
You
the day.
are exhausted. I bet your girlfriend does not talk very much, right? Or does she?
She does. It's weird because like her and I talk a lot, but when we're around other people, she's kind of quiet. And they're like, "Oh, your girlfriend's so quiet," and when she really isn't. It's just when her and I are together, we talk a lot. But when she's out, she doesn't want to like dominate a conversation.
Right. But do you feel like when you're out, you're talking more, doing more of the talking?
Yeah. But we kind of like, when we're in a group of people, we kind of like go our separate ways. We don't have to be like standing right next to each other.
Right.
And like,
that's good. That's healthy.
We are the power couple that stays together and we talk as one type thing. She goes off and does her own thing. I do my own thing.
Yeah, that makes sense. That'd be boring. Well, I'm glad you're still in a relationship. And you're
Thank
happy.
you.
Okay, one more question here was, what's the most embarrassing sexual thing moment? A night, a scenario, trying a new move. Like anything really embarrassing sexually ever happened to you?
Embarrassing. Oh, okay. I would say probably not the very first time or probably like the third or second time, I was super embarrassed to go buy condoms. I think I've probably shared the story before, but for new listeners, that I asked my buddy, I was like, dude, do me a favor. I'll pay you $20. Go buy some condoms for me. And he was super embarrassed. So he went to the local 7-Eleven and he looked like straight up like the Unabomber. Sunglasses on, hood on, like covering up most of his face. And he goes in and he buys the condoms. I don't even look at the box.
Right.
I just take them. And then later that night, I go try to hook up my girlfriend. Open the condoms, put them on. Didn't realize, and I didn't even know they made these unlubricated condoms.
Oh, yeah.
Who the fuck wants that?
Nobody wants that.
Why do they make those?
I don't know, honey. They don't. And
What
this is
is
why
the
people
point?
I don't know. That's like the baby powder or whatever it is. It's like
Yes.
dry and hurts. That's
And
before
I'm
there
like,
was
what is going on? This is not working.
That is such a sad story because you can't recover. You probably didn't have lube sitting around. I don't know
What
why.
What is that about? Do they still
Some
make
people
those?
have allergies. Yeah, they do. Some people have
gonna-
allergies, and that's why you should only use. I don't think
I'm
I've
gonna
talked about
tweet
this
the
in a while.
condom companies and be like, what are you thinking?
No, listen, skin condoms, which I've been talking about for years,
Yeah.
and I don't even think I talk about this enough because, like, now that like my niece is in college and I'm talking to her friends about condoms and stuff, because that's what. Can you believe my niece is already in college?
Yeah.
Remember when they were just
I know, it's crazy.
pumpkins, little pumpkins, cuties?
Yeah.
Skin condoms, SKYN. They are literally the best condoms on the planet. And I'm saying that because it's true. And no one's ever disagreed with me. And they're like, thank you. I thought condoms were all terrible. Like I thought every condom felt like the one Menace just described
Yeah.
because there are really bad condoms out there and we don't know it. So anyway, they're polyisoprene, which means they're non-latex. They're like soft and they're thin. And they
Yeah.
feel amazing on my condom talk. But yeah, they don't make that kind without the lube. It's a terrible experience. I'm
hell?
so sorry.
Yeah.
I know.
But
It was
anyways,
terrible.
I think that was the most embarrassing.
But it wasn't even you. Oh, you putting him out with the girl, though. And
Yeah,
you were
not
like, what the hell?
knowing like that these things even existed.
And they're hard to get on at first,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. I'm sorry.
So dumb.
Okay, so we can move on to some sex in the
Okay,
news.
tell me what's going on in the news.
Well, okay, this is what's going on in the news. This is a really important news.
All right.
And not just because I was quoted in the article.
Ooh.
How to have phone sex. Experts share must-know tips and what men don't like. This just came out, so I thought I would share it with you.
What men don't like.
Yeah, about sex in the
Trying to
news.
think what men
sex in the
wouldn't
news
like.
about phone sex. It was in the at hollywoodlife.com.
Sweet.
Okay, if you're in a long distance relationship or on a work trip, or you just feel lonely in your hotel room, you might want to have phone sex, FaceTime sex, whatever it is. And I get asked this a lot, so that's why I was happy they called me about this. I say, here's some of my tips. Ready? How to do phone sex? Start out with a sexy text message. You can let your partner know that you're turned on and you're thinking about them at that moment. And you could say something like, it'd be so hot to hear your voice right now. And then that way you're letting them know that you want to talk a little dirty, but also you can tell if they're at work, whatever, they'll be like, babe, not now. Also remember the thing about just kind of like normal sex. Phone sex is kind of like regular sex that sometimes it just does not run as smoothly as you'd like. Like if you're worried about what to say, you can make a cheat sheet beforehand. You can practice in front of the mirror. You can do it as you're driving along. It's a different voice. It's a different experience that you're taking on. It's a new skill. And it's okay that if you laugh or if it's weird or you say something that you don't want to, because again, it's a skill. And I think a lot of people just don't do it. They don't talk dirty. They don't sex because they're like, oh, I'm so afraid I'm going to get judged. So I say do.
Hasn't it gone to a next level too with FaceTime and all that
FaceTime
kind of
sex.
stuff?
Yeah, whatever it is. Yeah. Phone sex, FaceTime sex.
Emojis are a factor now.
Sexting.
Sexting. Back in the day, pager code, trying to sext at
Would you
night
do
with
that?
that, like typing in all the, or even trying to sex with like old school phones where you had to type in the number like five different times.
I don't think sexting happened then.
Oh no, it definitely did.
It did?
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I got really good at that too. What was it called?
What?
Quirky.
Oh, I forget what
QWERTY?
the
Doesn't matter. It was a long time ago.
ST something. Yeah,
ST
you're
or
right.
QU.
Something.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, like, the level of access people have now to all different ways to have phone sex is incredible.
I know, right?
Yeah.
FaceTime. And I feel like maybe people are more having FaceTime sex than phone sex, but I feel like it's a lost art. Or they're sexting.
Mm-hmm.
And this kind of goes for sexting as well, because some of my tips are like, describe what you're doing to yourself at this moment or what you want your partner to do. That's very easy. Be descriptive. Say like right now, like I'm touching myself and I'm thinking about you, sucking on my nipple.
So, I was
Baby.
this doesn't happen often because I know like a lot
Did you
of
just
women.
get a boner?
No. I know a lot of women are afraid. I mean, I would definitely never do this, but they're afraid that their partner might share what they're texting with their friends.
Yeah.
And I was at a bar, and I think it was just because of the time difference of where I was at. But my buddy's girlfriend was texting him, and he was like wasted, and he was just like, she was like texting him the most filthy, like foul stuff.
What does that mean,
ever.
filthy foul? Give me an example, because what you're filthy might be my fantastic.
Well, she's just like, it was just like from 0 to 1,000. It's like, oh, hey, what are you doing? Oh, I want you to fuck me in the ass right now, blah, blah.
Right.
I
That's
miss
why you
you.
gotta
I want
make
your
sure
cock in my throat. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Like, there wasn't any lead up time.
There was no
It just
foreplay. That's how
straight
women feel when men just like
into
rip
it.
our clothes off
Yeah,
and start
but this
sticking
was
their
a
cock
woman
inside us.
to a man,
Yeah.
which was incredible.
And he showed it to you.
Yeah, but he was just, he was
Right.
wasted. I'm sure if he was by himself.
Right.
I mean,
Well,
he has
she was
no one to
probably
share
wasted
it to.
too. Right. No, but I
He
think
has no one to share
that
with.
goes for photos, naked photos,
yeah.
that men or women, you get a picture, they will turn around who's ever next to them and show them.
Yeah, and I think he was just telling me because he was confident
right.
that I wouldn't like
Tell anyone, like tell a million people listening to a podcast.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying who it is, but I'm just saying like the other people that are around the room
I get
that
it.
were there that I'll be like, hey, check out, Johnny's text that he's getting, I was laughing with him about
Right.
it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, you know what? It doesn't
Because
matter.
a lot of the stuff can be screenshot, and you have to be really confident on
Okay,
who
so you
you're
can
sending
talk,
it to.
you can sext
Yeah.
it, you can phone sext it or sext it, but you can say, here's the other thing. I just want to give people quick tips. You can use your own past experiences for inspiration. So if you're not sure what to say again, you're like, remember that time that I'm trying to think of what was the last time we were in the shower and it was so hot I was using my Sport Sheets sex in the shower line of handles of grips on the wall, and then
Yeah.
you were fucking me from behind or whatever.
And I'll be text
describing
back
it.
like, oh, that wasn't me. Like, oh, my bad.
Dude, that happened to me once.
Oh, I'm not surprised.
I'm like, don't you remember when we had that sex in wherever in my backyard? And he's like,
Yeah.
that wasn't me. I'm like,
Yep.
oh,
Not
totally.
surprised.
That other
Sorry,
backyard.
I'm so high right
Oh,
now.
that
I
other
don't know
guy.
what I'm saying. I'm on peyote. I'm at a retreat.
Oh, one time I was a little high.
Yeah, I'm
And-
on ayahuasca.
Oh, I did the stoner. I misread
Yeah.
a guy. I was dating a guy briefly, and
Yeah.
I misread that he wanted to have phone sex at that moment because
Yeah.
I couldn't hear what he was saying. And I thought he said like, I'm so hot for you. And what do you think? He might have just said like, it's really hot here. And I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'm hot for you too. Like, I really want to get. And he was
Yeah.
like, gotta go. Like,
Yeah.
I thought that's where he was going, but I
You misheard.
misheard him and I escalated phone sex without
Yeah.
testing the waters. Okay. So
Say you're on bath salts.
also,
and-
pay attention to your tone. So you want to speak slowly and breathy, and don't be afraid to moan. Like that.
I would laugh so hard. That's just me, though. That's just me. I don't speak for all guys. Obviously, we've shared that many times, but
No, Menace does not speak. The opinions of Menace are not representing every man in the world.
Blanket statement of all guys, but I would be laughing my ass off if that.
If I was like, Menace,
I'd be like, I gotta go.
Menace,
I would be dying.
what time will you be here for the show?
I'd be like,
you
never.
show me that trick on
You're creeping me the
Instagram?
fuck out right now.
Okay, so avoid bad timing.
Yeah.
Don't initiate if your partner's at work or didn't meet or you're, with their parents at lunch. Don't skip to the climax like your friend did. Like, hey,
Yeah.
fuck me in the ass. You actually want to build it. Build the tension like you would with real sex, with actual sex. And if you can't think of what to say in the moment, like when you're in phone text, you can just say like, that's so hot, or what next? If you need a breather. That's just your
Yep.
tips of the day. I feel like that's really helpful.
I love
for
it.
people. Okay, love it too. Okay, let's give a shout out to our amazing sponsors. Thank you everybody for supporting our sponsors, keeping the show free, and follow me on Instagram for that same reason. I love you all. Thanks for listening. We'll be right back. Now we're on to your emails. If you have a question you want me to answer on the show, that's amazing. Text me your question. Ask Emily, one word, to 797979. You just text Ask Emily. You get a link back. You ask your question. You can also submit a question at sexwithemily.com via the Ask Emily tab. As always, what do they got to do, Menace?
They have to tell us their age, where they're listening from, and how they're listening.
Right.
You know,
And where they live.
SoundCloud, sexwithemily.com.
We're on iHeartRadio.
iTunes, iHeartRadio. on Spotify,
SoundCloud, Google Play.
all that.
Dude, everywhere.
Just
Take
put those
it over.
factors because we need to know your age. Because we need to know like what point you are in life.
Yeah, we do need to know or we can't help you.
Location's always good because that kind of helps. Like maybe we can give some suggestions on where to meet people.
Right.
And
Menace probably had a great burger there.
Yeah, have a great burger somewhere. I'll let you know where to go. And yeah, and just how you listen, that just kind of helps out the show. So
Yeah, thank
those
you.
are the factors. If you can just put those in there, you don't even really have to use your real name if you don't have to.
We don't care. Fake
It's
your
all
name.
good.
Fake your name. Just don't fake
Yep.
your orgasm. Hey there, Emily. I'm such a fan of your show. I love how no topic is off limits. I'm newly single and I love it. I've always dated looking for the one and was in and out of relationships. I've now turned over a new leaf and I'm embracing the single life. I've always been super comfortable with the thought of casual sex, but how do you even find people to have casual sex with? How do you make it clear that it's just casual sex? Whenever I'm with someone for casual sex, it always ends up being more than sex because they start to have feelings. I've also tried sex with an ex and that just didn't work. Those emotions and feelings again. I'm single and ready to playfully mingle. Just need some guidance on where to look. P.S. I've told all my friends about your podcast. Much love, Rachel, 24, New York. Thank you, Rachel, for telling your friends.
Wow.
And thank you, everybody, for telling your friends, because again, that also helps the show. And I'd love to hear from your friends. And if it's helping you, it's probably going to help someone you love. Tell your mom, tell your
Yeah.
parents, tell anybody. Okay.
New York City,
Right.
24 years old. You're not going to have any issues.
Well,
But
she
let's
is though,
figure it out
because
right
it's
now.
well, yeah, here's the thing though. I think that Rachel, that you have to be upfront right away that that's what you're looking for casual sex, and you're saying they all start to have feelings for you. Well, I think that probably happens. You're amazing. That's what she said.
Isn't, like Tinder all casual sex? Is people
No.
really looking for relationships on there?
I mean, hopefully you're on the dating apps. I'm sure you know about the dating apps. You could be on Bumble or Tinder or any of them, and you get to choose if it's about a hookup or not. You could say, I'm looking for a casual partner, not commitment right now, if you're into dating that way. But I also think that maybe what's happening is you're dating people, you like them, you want to keep it casual, but maybe you're seeing them more often than is going to work for you. So, for example, I'm assuming that if you meet someone, you like it, it's good. You probably see them twice that week, or maybe
I've seen them too
and if you
often.
if you see them too often, they're going to get the wrong idea and they're going to get attached. So I try to get a few people in the lineup and date several guys at once if you can, or women, or whoever you're dating, and space them out and be very clear though ahead of time, like, I am not looking for a relationship. And unless you make yourself available to them, they won't be able to catch those feelings.
Get attached.
Now,
yeah.
you might also be sending mixed messages as someone who's done that in the past. Like, I really didn't want a relationship, but yet I loved being with some guys that I was dating. And so I couldn't help it because it felt really great, but I really didn't want to be with them. And so my words would say one thing and my actions would say something else. And so you got to check yourself there that you're not sending these messages to these people, because that can happen as well. So I just think being upfront, communicating your needs, I'm putting it out there.
Pretty easy.
Easy.
That's the
Well,
easy one. What else do we have?
We got more. Okay.
All right.
Hello, Emily. I love your show. I think it's amazing that you're creating an open environment for conversation and you're bringing so much knowledge to your listeners. Thank you. I've been with my girlfriend for about 2.5 years. She's almost 27 and I'm 27. For the past few months, she's pressured me with engagement, dropping hints and even explicitly saying that she wants to be engaged by 27 and will leave if she isn't, because it isn't fair to her. She's an amazing girlfriend in every way, but for some reason, these hints and this pressure has left a scar on me. I feel myself preparing to pop the question just to stop these hints and get it over with.
Ooh, that's
The
bad.
pressure that she's creating is also affecting our sex life and creating resentment within me. Should I tell her the truth? I love her and I want to be with her, but I'm starting to feel emotionally abused with all of this pressure. Thank you, Emily. You are awesome. Joey, 27, Portland, Oregon.
Portland, Oregon. By the way, the Woody Show, which is a morning show that I'm on, we're on a brand new radio station there every morning, Alt 102.3. So if
Yeah,
you can
you're-
listen, tell a friend.
Yeah.
Every morning.
I'm so proud of you.
It's definitely a lot different from this show. So
No, but
don't
people-
expect it to be the Sex Emily show. It's
Okay.
way different.
Joey, so after we answer this, you can go listen to Menace's show and tell your friends.
Yes.
Okay. But here's the thing, Joey. First of all, I think that you're awesome and very evolved here, the way you're writing this, because you're saying you actually know yourself. So I just want to point this out. I love that you're able to use the words that you're starting to feel resentment, and that's why you actually don't. You might not feel like having sex with her. So you just seem like you're self-aware and you're really paying attention to what's going on. And I totally get why this is not feeling good to you, because no one wants to be pressured into making the biggest decision of their life. And I feel like for whatever reason, she's got this idea in her head, by the age of 27, I got to do it. And for you, it's like, I get it. You know, maybe you would want to marry her, but with all that pressure, she takes kind of the thrill and the fun away from it of you guys actually deciding together if you're going to be a good couple. And when she lays that down and just says, I want to be married, I mean, how much time have you guys spent even discussing, like, do you have the same values, the same goals? Do you want the same things? I mean, you're 27, and I feel like next time I think that you can be honest with her and let her know also that when she pressures you like that, it makes you want to retreat because you're feeling like it's kind of like a guilt trip and you're not even sure. Because what I think that sounds is like she's just got to like check this off her list by the time she's 27. But how much of what she's saying is like, I'm excited to spend my life with you, Joey, because I envision our life together. Like, I love you and this is why I love you and this is how I picture our life. But it sounds like she's just laying down this ultimatum. And and I don't know if I think there's some room for you guys to enhance your conversations and intimacy.
I was going to say, I know this is a lot of pressure. Just like, look back and say, okay, is this somebody that I want to be with? Is this somebody I want to marry? Then fine, then just go with it. If you can't come up with an answer, then, you know, you got to be completely honest and tell them and see what she has to say.
Yeah. And I think that if you don't know, you know, especially when it comes to that with popping the question. The thing that concerns me here was you said just to get her to stop talking, you want to just pop the question.
Bad.
That's not like, I'm just going to like buy this shirt. So, or whatever. It's like, I'm just going to like take my friend to dinner because she's been asking me for weeks. No, this is like, I'm just going to marry this person.
To
so
get
they
them
shut
to
up.
stop
No,
talking.
This is not the kind of thing that you make those decisions. And so it sounds like it really has gotten to this point where I think you could say to her, when you're telling these things to me, when you're pressuring me, it's making me pull away. I got to be honest with you. And it's not because I don't love you. And it's not because I don't picture spending my life with you, perhaps, but I think there's stuff that we should talk about. And I think you could say to her, what kind of life are you picturing? Or like, tell me why you're excited to live with me. Why are you excited to get married with me? And I think that maybe you'll realize after these conversations, if you go a little bit deeper, that maybe you are more aligned. And maybe you'll be like, you know what? Now that we're actually expanding the conversation beyond like, let's just get married and see what happens, you actually do want to be with her. And maybe you'll find out some things that you realize, you know what? I'm glad we got more in depth about this and I actually don't want to marry her. So I don't pop the question because of pressure, and I think you can be honest with her. And again, this is very touchy, so you want to be like, stop asking me to pop the question or I won't do it. But you got to say, babe, I love you, but when you start to pressure me like that, I feel resentment. And I don't want to feel that way. So can we just slow this down and have some conversations about?
Yes.
Hi, Emily. I just ended a 10-year relationship and I'm in the process of divorce. My ex was the only boyfriend I ever had.
Ooh.
We met when I was 17 and now I'm 27. Now that I'm entering a new phase, I'm trying to be more open about sex. I've had a few hookups, but as a shy person, telling my partner exactly what I want is challenging. Honestly, I'm not sure if I know exactly what I want or how I like it. So how do I get the most pleasure when I'm with someone new? Thank you. I love your podcast, Michelle. 27, Iowa.
I
love Iowa.
I used to be wanted in Iowa for speeding.
Really?
Yeah, I was driving through there. I got a speeding ticket that I never paid, but I paid it off.
Remember this story?
Yeah, I'm good now.
Lingered for a while.
It did, because I lost the ticket. I didn't know what to do.
You were probably 27.
Yeah.
Okay, Michelle, I feel like you just got out of a relationship. 10 years is a long time from age 17 to 27.
Yeah, but you're still in your,
oh my God, yeah.
prime
You're
of your
young.
life.
And
perfect timing.
Perfect, yeah. I'm glad you got out of a relationship that wasn't working for you. And let me tell you something. If you're a shy person or not a shy person, it's very challenging for everybody to talk about what they want in bed. If you've been listening to the podcast, you know that that's actually a lot of what I talk about is like really getting comfortable with what you actually do like and then practicing communicating that to a partner. So I'm not even sure, I don't know what your sex life was with your partner. He's the only boyfriend you've been with. So I think this is going to take some alone time, some masturbation, like all the stuff that I talk about in the show, like figuring out what does feel good to me. So then you'll know, even if it's just like, oh, I like when somebody, I like when you rub my clitoris in this way, or I like these kind of movements. This is what gives me an orgasm. I feel like you could practice that and learn your body more that way just by masturbating and figuring that out. But also when you're with a new partner, it's not going to feel comfortable at first, especially if you didn't do it with your last partner, but it gets easier. It's a skill that you build over time. So even if it's just a matter of moving in a certain way so they're understanding what you desire, or just saying it, even if it's uncomfortable, and being like, you know what, I really like to slow things down and make out some more. And even if it feels weird or your voice gets squeaky, the more that you actually start saying these things out loud that you want, it just gets easier. And I think that people appreciate it. We all want direction, right, Menace?
Yeah. I mean, should she be exploring her own body to figure out what she wants?
That's what I said. I said she should do Yeah, I said a little masturbation. I was gonna say double down, but that's not really doubling down, is it?
Well, it always comes to mind. I mean, I know you said that, but like, in what way do you think? Of just other
I
than
feel like 10 years, he's the only guy you've had sex with. I'm not even sure that you masturbated in those 10 years. And as you guys know, that I think that masturbation for men and for women is really important if you're in a relationship or out of a relationship. And since you've been with him since you were 17, I'm just going to take a wild guess here that maybe you haven't spent a lot of time alone. And this is like not just like getting in your room and doing it, like take a bath, explore your body, rub your hands over your body, like know like who are you now as this woman who's been in a relationship for 10 years? Like who are you as a sexual being? What really turned you on? Play with that. Like think about it. What are your sexual fantasies? What's some hot moments from your past? And just start to kind of build your erotic self, if you will. I mean, I think I'm answering your question here because I feel like
there's a lot of
also
information.
you might be rushing through. You're saying there's a few hookups, and also if don't rush into sex either.
Yeah.
I would say that to everybody. Actually, I think a lot of us rush into sex because we actually feel like we can't say no, or things are already moving along, or we just like think why not. But if we don't often pay attention to our bodies saying, you know what, I'm not really ready yet. And so maybe you're not even ready yet. So
a lot of reading material at sexwithemily.com, by the way.
True.
Don't be afraid to type it in. I know it says sexwithemily.com, but
right. But no, you guys, literally, we have so many great blogs. Thank you to Jamie here who curates them all and just been killing it on the website.
Go read some stuff.
Okay. Another email. Oh, Menace.
Yes.
You can help with this one too.
All right.
Hello, Emily. I've been in a relationship with my boyfriend going on 6 years now. I'm more than happy with him, and I'm positive he'll be the person I'll spend my life with. But here's the problem. I find myself fantasizing over other men with more in shape and desirable figures.
Ooh.
Don't get mad that this is why. I spend 3 to 4 days at the gym each week. I make healthy dietary choices. I want to look good for him, but he doesn't have the same mindset as I do. He's put in a lot of weight. Since we first started dating, I feel like he doesn't care. I know if he were in better shape, it would make our sex life skyrocket. How do I approach him without being completely rude and sounding like a shallow bitch and tell him to lose some pounds? Thank you so much. I love listening to you. Taylor, 24, Houston.
Love you, Houston.
So, Menace has fluctuated with, I don't know if anyone's ever, I think go ahead. You look great, but I know that you just said you went to the gym.
Yeah, I started going just recently. I talked about getting the iWatch is the best investment I've made. This is my second one because I lost my first one. But, having the activity goals every day is great. You don't have to get an iWatch. You can get like a Fitbit or something like that. In this situation, it was funny because I was just ragging on my coworker the other day because his hair is all messed up. His clothes are all disheveled. And we're saying, oh, now you got a girlfriend. You're just letting yourself go. You get kind of comfortable when you do have a partner. You don't really think about those things anymore because you used to do all those things that like tried to impress somebody or you wanted to make sure you look good. So I don't know, guys. I don't think guys are really that sensitive about that.
I was wondering. I was going to ask you. I
wonder how much she encourages him to go to the gym with her. Mm-hmm. To be honest, I mean, like she might be just implying, like, "Hey, I'm coming, going to the gym. Want to come along?" Like, kind of like laughs about it. He
might not know, right?
That she's serious about it. We do that a lot at my work where we all talk about how we need to get in shape. And there's some people that are way serious about it than others. And when they said, hey, you want to come to the gym? They're kind of like joking about it, but they're serious at the same time. Like, hey, you should really go to the gym,
No,
So
it's true.
if you're more direct about it and see what he says.
Yeah,
just
I
like,
think that you just like, babe,
honey,
let's go work out together. That's something I often suggest to couples. I'm like, oh, well, just like you get a gym membership together. Yeah. But also a lot of times when men, they gain weight, they feel unhealthy, their sex drive can go down. They're not feeling as sexual. They're not in the mood as much. I mean, Menace, you said you just start working out again and you feel like you have more energy.
Yeah, way more
energy. It's affected your sex life. But we've talked about this in the past too, that it's true. When you exercise more and you're healthy, you're going to want more sex. Also, though, you've been together for 6 years since you were 18. So that could be another thing, that your sex life could be waning or you might be desiring other men. It could be also just because you've been together 6 years. Although it is a big deal if he's gained a lot of weight. It's not only the weight that you find attractive, but maybe just the fact that he's not taking his own health that seriously. That's not sexy either. You're like, I just want you to take care of yourself like I do. And I get it. Like,
definitely
health
affects your motivation to go out and do things and enjoy being together.
Yeah.
I know definitely I'm just like, I'm too exhausted because I'm out of shape, not working out. And I'm like, I don't really want to go all the way out
Right.
to the pier. I'd rather stay at home and watch Hulu or Netflix or
Right.
something like that instead of actually being outside. And I know that's like going outside would be way more fun for my partner than staying at home.
Right.
You know, so I'm sure that would cause some resentment if the person is starting to act lazy.
Yeah. So maybe there are some things you could, if you're just going for a walk, like I remember, even just like taking those 10,000 steps a day and you guys walk places or you do things together. Couples who start new activities together or take courses together, like actually it brings them close. It spikes the adrenaline, it enhances connection. So maybe there's some creative ways that you could kind of, get them to come on board with some more physical activities.
I mean, if you have the opportunity, get a dog too.
Oh, dude, it's
Getting
true.
a dog's so much fun.
I'm going to get a dog again.
Good luck with that.
Okay. I'm going to. All right. So, that's all we got time for.
That's
It
it?
was super fun.
I don't. All right, fine.
Okay,
We'll
what?
see you
Did you
again
have
in
anything
like
else?
6 months.
No, honey, you'll come back
just
soon.
kidding.
This was so fun. You're like, just kidding. I'm busy.
No.
But I love you all. Thank you
Thank
also,
you.
you guys, for subscribing on iTunes and also for reviewing the show on iTunes. Let's
Yes.
talk about that, Menace. You're really good at telling people why that's important too.
It's very important because I don't want to guilt trip you, but Emily has a whole crew of people here that work very, very hard on the show, and they don't ask you to pay for the podcast. All we need you to do is go review the show. If you're listening on iTunes, there's a little comment section to say, "Oh, I love it. Give it 5 stars." I mean, that's what Emily would love you to do. I don't care. You can give it 1 star.
Well,
I
that
mean,
doesn't
Emily
help
would
us.
cry. It
I'll
wouldn't
cry.
help us.
Well, what
But-
happened was a few years ago, we got some bad reviews, like 6 years ago when we charged. And those
Yeah.
are the ones that come up first as negative
Emily
ones
was
from,
still
like,
trying to figure this out.
2006 or 2007.
Yeah.
Someone's like, hey, guess what? You can charge, and people, because I was broke and I didn't know. And then people are still, that comes up first in iTunes, the negative one. So if
Yeah.
we put more positive out there,
Yeah.
the whole world will be a better place.
Yes, please go review anywhere you listen to the show.
Right.
Like, let's
Google
say
Play and
Google
Spotify
Play,
and-
all those places. That only helps the show. Even if you're like, oh, I'm too afraid to write something on there because it says sex, just go ahead and just
5-star
rate
it.
5-star. Just
Yeah,
rate it.
5-star it, baby.
That'd help out.
We love it.
Thank
Okay,
you so
thank you,
much.
Menace.
I appreciate it.
And thank you for everything. Everyone check out Menace and his show. Congratulations for the Woody Show being on M4 Cities.
Yes, we're on. If you live in Albuquerque, New Mexico, we are on 104.1 The Edge, and if you're listening like this gentleman in Portland, we are on Alt 102.3, and in St. Louis, Alt 104.9, and in Los Angeles, Alt 98.7. So a lot of places at the Woody Show in the morning. Check us out.
Check it out.
I appreciate it.
Congratulations, Menace, and
Thank
all
you.
that. Thank you to everyone for listening. I love you all. Thank you to my amazing team, to Ken and Jamie, our intern Shannon, producer Lark, and Michael. And thanks everyone for listening. Was it good for you? Email me, feedback@sexwithemily.com.